What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103, and welcome to yet another episode of the Blaugrana and Parisiens, where today we're going to be discussing a big week ahead for both teams in the Champions League, some previous matches that are happening, of course, beforehand and afterwards, and also, of course, the January transfer window only having now 10 days remaining, with both teams looking still to do some activity. Of course, I do have with me my boy here, PSG in. You want to say what's up to the people?
Welcome, the beautiful Barca boy family.
So I guess we can start off with last weekend's games. I know you played RC Lens in a very tight game. I saw at halftime they were winning 1-0. And then you made the comeback in the end. Talk to me about the game. Was it comfortable? Was it a poor first half? Then you came back. How's the mood going into the midweek games from that weekend game?
So, Osman Dembele and Hakimi were not in the squad. Neves didn't start, and I think those have been our three best players this season. So
They
that
rested?
already put us at a disadvantage. Hakimi and Dembele, yeah, rested. Neves potentially rested. I don't really know. But I knew like it was gonna be a tough game. Arsenal are always tough. Plus, we recently beat them in the cup at their stadium, so they wanted that revenge, and they played dirty football. Like we weren't good in the first half. What I liked about the game is the mentality. Like the performance was not that good, but I love the mentality coming back. Barcola as well, having finally a good performance, both an assist and a goal. So I think it's more of like a good mental win and some good performances from some certain individuals. Like as you said, going into the City game, it's good that Barcola has at least started off some good form. Had two JA in the cup game midweek as well. So yeah, it's really a relevant game. But we managed to pick up 3 points. Marseille, I don't know if you know, but they dropped points again.
Yeah,
So we're
this
9 points
league
clear.
title race is non-existent, man. as I expected, but now it's just really non-existent.
I mean, the thing is, I know Ligan has, Ligan we always look dominate, but this is the best we've dominated in a while. Like we're still unbeaten. We could do that, and even though, as you say, it's a farmers league, no one has ever gone unbeaten in Ligan. So
Well, I
it
don't
would
think
be a
that'll
big
matter
record.
too much if you make it to the next round of the Champions League, but we'll discuss that.
What if we go unbeaten or the game?
Yeah, like if you progress to the knockouts of the Champions League, I don't think unbeaten in the league is going to be a real priority, so to speak.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You know what I
that is
mean?
true.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
So for Barcelona, we drew 1-1 with Getafe, which was not the score line, but the prediction I said for the game was going to be a draw. It was just, anti-terroristic football for 90 minutes. We haven't won there in about 5 years, but each of the games that we played there over the past 5 years were pretty difficult circumstances. This is probably the one where I would say like was where we needed the win. The last time we played there, it was like the first game of the season, so like who cares? You're just coming off the back of preseason. The other two were both the last like away game of the year, where the season's basically over, where we drew 0-0, and then the year before that we lost 1-0 pretty early on in the season. But yeah, it was terroristic football to say the least. I think Barcelona had four clear-cut chances. Rafinha missed two absolute sitters yet again, which is getting very annoying at this rate because he has a Ballon d'Or game, and then the next game he's just back to, I wouldn't say shit, but just so annoying. And I've talked about Rafinha too much. I'm gonna leave him. Koundé is making some shouts for Hakimi. I was thinking about it after the game, after he scored against Betis. I'm like, I gotta bring up this Koundé Hakimi debate, because what happens is that Koundé plays well. When Koundé dips, we all talk about Hakimi being the best right back in the world. And Koundé is now back up performing and stuff. He's very, up and down. But I think,
Offensively as well.
yeah, he has 10 GAs this season. I think that's the most of any right back. He has more GAs than Trent, which I thought was crazy this season. I think it's 3 goals, 7 assists, something like that.
I mean, that's exactly the same of Hakimi as well, 37 as well.
Oh, really? So
Scary.
I know it was a center back playing right back. That's the crazy part. But yeah, Lamine Yamal had a good game as well. We of course
Good game.
for against Getafe. Yeah. I think overall, based on the way that they play as well, he got nullified a lot in the second half. But the first half, he was cooking.
I can agree that like he had a good performance in terms of everything, but like his finishing wasn't that good. Like he had some two, three good chances. There was once he didn't take a shot. He said he took a touch
Yeah, he does that
and
all the
then went
time.
away.
Does that all the time. I didn't think he had any clear cut chance in this game. To be honest, he put some good crosses in the first half. Like you mentioned, he had a lot of shots that just went over. That he was just trying it from distance because that's all we really had. When you're playing, 11 men behind the ball, like the whole entire second half was spent in Getafe's half. Even like the Barca center backs, we talk about the high line. They were in the Getafe half, and then they got into a fight in the last 20 minutes that pretty much killed the whole entire game, which was a bit annoying. But our league form is absolutely disgusting. I think we have one win in 8. Our last league win came like beginning of December, so we're coming up to almost 2 months without winning a league game. I think we're 7 points now behind Real Madrid, but we were 7 points ahead, so we could turn that around. But I think it really will come down to them making mistakes more than us. And if they get knocked out of the Champions League, they're having to fight for the Champions League too. So if the league becomes their priority, they can definitely run away with it. Not run away with it, but they can go ahead and go on and win it. And like I told you, like I mentioned, I think this team is really much a cup team. We had the Copa del Rey draws today as well. All the big teams were spread apart, so we're gonna have a huge semifinal if we do make it. Probably a Clásico semifinal, knowing how they like to rig it. I was watching the draw this morning, so they took out Leganes, who were the worst team in the draw. They're playing at home. The guy went to go grab. He remember that clip of the Champions League ball where I think it was Javier Zanetti, where he grabs like the Madrid ball, puts it in, he holds it, but it goes like this and takes it out. Exact same thing happened. The guy put his hand in, held one ball, went like this, and took the one ball out. But I mean, it's a Copa del Rey. I'm not gonna lose my balls over it. But yeah, that was pretty much Barcelona's week. We won against Betis midweek, where we played some fantastic football. Probably one of the best games during the season. Did you have a midweek game?
Yeah, cup game.
Oh yeah, that 4-2 where you guys were. I think you guys were losing twice.
Yeah, that's a 5th division side. They took the lead. Like, what was it?
I watched the highlights. Yeah, but you didn't get knocked out, so you're good.
Yeah.
Nice little storyline for them. But yeah, I guess we can talk about the midweek games. I have here a question on the screen saying that thoughts on PSG making to the next round of the Champions League. Of course, Champions League is back now for the first time since I think the middle of December. Barcelona play Benfica tomorrow, and we have, of course, probably the biggest game during this Champions League week, which is PSG against Man City. Both teams absolutely desperate for a win. I guess we could talk about Barcelona really quickly because it's kind of boring. We're just kind of playing for vibes now. We're guaranteed qualification. Whether it's round 32 or top 8, I think we need one more win to guarantee top 8, so we're good. We're pretty much fighting for money at this point. We want, of course, a qualification finish in top 8. You get like 10 million. Second place, you get 2 million. Of course, first place, you get another extra 10 million. So if we can get it first, that'd be very nice. Or we're gonna have to need Liverpool. I don't even know who. Let me actually check who Liverpool play in the last 2 games and see if they can actually drop points.
They play Lille this game.
Lille, and then let me show me here the Google next game. So Lille at home, that's gonna be a win, and then PSV away. So maybe PSV away, they might rotate. You never know. But yeah, for the game, Benfica coming out in good form. Barcelona again, crap in the league, but they love these cup games. Like I said a lot this season, this team really gets up for Champions League games. They're doing it now in the group stage where it doesn't matter, because I guarantee you in the knockout rounds they're gonna bottle it as they usually do. But yeah, we'll probably perform well in this game. Probably concede a goal. Actually, I don't even know if we'll concede a goal because Szczesny now has made some moved up the ranks, and now he's the official cup goalkeeper for Barcelona now. So he's gonna be playing the cup games and the Champions League games. So if Naki is not in goal, it might actually keep a clean sheet. But I do expect us to win. It'll be maybe a tight game based on how much space we leave at the back. But I do expect us to go and win this game, which of course will secure us top 8. If we can get a nice convincing win before the game against Valencia on the weekend, we'll take it. But any 3 points I will take, that is convincing or not. You think that Barcelona will get over the line in the stadium? Last time we played there, we got clapped 3-0 by Darwin Nunez under Koeman, back when the team was absolutely ass. But I guess now it's kind of different. But do you think Barcelona will go out there and get the result? You think it could be maybe a draw? You jammy bastard. It could be. That's definitely agenda. Barcelona have only played well in the Champions League. I think it mattered. This team, yeah. I think this is what the club are thinking. Because something you have to know about Barcelona is that we need to make money, not because we need it, but because we want to take advantage of the money that's being available. Because we're not broke, but we could use the extra cash kind of vibe. We're not like PSG or maybe Man City. We're like, you know what, money great. If not, all we care is qualification. So what the club do is that they calculate how much money they want to earn at a minimum in the Champions League. In the Champions League, they need a minimum quarterfinals. They get that quarterfinal money, they'll be Gucci. If we don't get that quarterfinal money, what the club gonna do? They're gonna make this team go play an end of season friendly in freaking Korea or America to earn that extra $5 million that they missed out on. So that's an extra incentive for these players as well. Okay, if we can win this game, we can get the extra points and cash for the club. We don't have to go fly to Korea and sign autographs 24 hours and play a whole game, then come back a whole 24-hour trip. The players don't like that, and they made that quite clear over the past 2 years. But the club said, hey, look, if you win these games, you don't do it. We're only bringing you these games because you keep on bottling it in the Champions League. So it's up to you, really. So that could be an extra incentive. But like you said, I understand why you can maybe predict Barcelona to lose. But for me, it's this team uses the Champions League as a benchmark. Oh, Rafinha cried last year when PSG knocked us out. Oh, this happens. Like Mo, it happens every year. Every year. I get the comps on my TikTok, on my For You page. Oh, we're going to do it in the Champions League. Oh, Ivory Coast won the AFCON the last time. All this stuff always happens. They ball out in the group stages, and then when the going gets tough, that's what they'll really be tested where. That's where my opinion will change on that. But you predicting a loss is crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what does that mean? Just play your games. Bro, we went trophyless last season. We can't be demanding trebles. You know what I mean? Like we gotta know. No, I know that. Of course, the team should aim for a treble. They should go for a treble. But doing this stuff in priority and things like that, I don't like, because this squad is more than capable enough of playing multiple games at a time against weaker teams or good teams. The squad is good enough to have rotation. Maybe the only weak point you could say is full back depth. I even think the striker depth is not too bad. You have Ferran Torres and Paulo Victor who do well in these kind of games when Lewandowski is rested. But for me, it's the going gets tough in February in Champions League. That's where I really dictate it. But with the Copa del Rey, it goes by so quickly. The last few times that Barcelona got knocked out, it was always at the MMS. Because MMS, again, like I told you, I don't fear any stadium more than that stadium. Bernabeu is now our training ground. The Metropolitano Stadium, we always win there 1-0 somehow, some way. MMS has always killed us, and we always got that draw. This year, they got knocked out by Osasuna, so the quarterfinals is now open. And we play the quarterfinals not next week, but the week after, in the first week of February, after the Champions League concludes. So we already know if we're in the semifinal of the Copa del Rey come before the round of 16 the Champions League, right? So that will become the priority when the Champions League, of course, ends. We have quite easy La Liga games around it, but we've been asked in La Liga, so it's like we don't even know. But I think this Benfica game is important for the league games coming up, because the team needs something to get motivated, like we saw for the Super Cup in Saudi, right? We won the Barbasso game, the Cup game. They got that motivation, and they won the Super Cup, and they used that to win the game against Betis. That was in very quick succession, 48 hours from Saudi to Barcelona to play the game. So they need a bit of something, and again, winning an away game in the Champions League, the team loves to do that in the group stages, of course. So I don't think we'll lose. I think the only way Benfica will get a result is a draw. Di Maria is just coming back from an injury, so he may be a bit rusty. And also Benfica have been playing a lot of games. But they like the Portuguese league. They put them on a freaking Friday to give them the extra rest. Yeah, the league. That's Farmers League vibes right there. French league and Portuguese league. We only lost Monaco because we had a red card. If we didn't have a red card, we would have cooked them easily. Okay, but to be fair, we played the red card with Madrid for half an hour. It looked pretty good. So hopefully the team has learned from how to defend properly with 10 men. Yeah. Well, Monaco we lost, but we balled it from the beginning. Celta Vigo we balled a 2-0 lead, but Madrid we kept it moving. Just Rodrigo scored the set piece from the red card. That was it. We would have been cooked. Yeah. And the lead was too big, and the team felt. If that goal either brought it to 3-2 or let's say 2-2, like them tying it, may Allah have mercy on my soul. Anyways, let's talk about the big game. We've been talking about this game for how long? 2-3 months now, and now it's finally here. PSG against Man City. Both teams have been, well, not both teams. City have been very crap over the past 2 months. They're now just picking up a little bit of form. PSG have been ass in the Champions League, but very good in French league competition. This is a very much a do or die for both teams. Both teams, I think, are sat on the same amount of points. Yeah, but they're still in the same like category, right? In that round of 32 section. Yeah, so Man City is on 8 points in 22nd. PSG is just outside the round 32 on 7 points. So it is a huge game for both teams. So what do you? Well, let me just check this real quick. So what do you think about this game from a PSG perspective, of course?
It's a gigantic game. I want to be confident, but just give me the win, how matter it comes. But I will expect a great performance because this is the best we have been this entire season. We have a 8 winning streak, 10-game unbeaten streak, won our first trophy of the season, had 2 somewhat tough games in the Coupe de France, advanced them. So we've never been more ready. An entirely fully fit squad, even Lucas Hernandez coming, Kvara watching from the stand. So if there's any time we wanted to face this City team, is now. I remember at the beginning of the season, people said, "Oh, we wanted the City game in the beginning," whilst they were still ass. Obviously, they continue being ass the entire season,
Yeah.
so that's calm. Obviously, their signings and our signings would not play, so
I don't think their
fair
signings have
game.
been even officially announced yet. That's how slow they are.
True,
They've signed
true,
2.
most
They've basically signed 3, but none have been announced. They signed the RC London center back, the Brazilian guy, and then Omar Marmoush. But that deal's like still final details left.
But you, as a non-PSG, non-City fan, who would you say is slightly coming in as the favorite? Because even though City are bad, it's still City. It's still
I
City.
would say slightly City only because your form at the Parc des Princes in the Champions League has been ass. If you won either the Atletico game, PSV, I know you won Girona, but do you really? I don't really count that. You know what I mean?
No, that's a draw. That's a draw.
Yeah, if you won any of those games, I'd give you a bit more. But just the fact that you've been so bad, I've seen you now get clapped 3 times at home in the Champions League. I think this game is dead on 50-50, but if you told me to give it an edge, I'd say 50.1 to Man City and then 49.9.
But wouldn't you say the Girona, Atletico, and PSV are all fugazi? Like that shouldn't have happened.
The PSV and Girona definitely not. Atletico Madrid, I mean, they got you in the end. But here's the thing with Man City. The reason why they've been, of course, that first month where they were, crap, that was just, I think, part of their burnout. But over recent weeks, the reason why they've been so bad is that Pep doesn't play De Bruyne for some sort of reason. Their best player, right? I don't know if it's a contractual issue. Maybe they don't want him to get injured or whatever the case may be. But the last 2 games, De Bruyne is finally starting, and they're playing well all of a sudden. So if KDB starts this game, I think, I'm not saying it's wraps for PSG, but I think we won't see a crap Man City. A Man City that can definitely be exploited, a Man City that you can definitely get a result against for sure, but not the Man City that we've been seeing over the past few months. I think he's that key because the way his movement in the final third, his vision, his crossing is disgusting. His cross is probably the best cross I've seen in my life as a football fan, in the sense of from the outsides, whipping it in, it's perfect every single time. Trent, of course, does a very good job of that as well, but Trent is not perfect every single time. He puts it on a plate every single time without fail.
Yeah.
So, and he's putting those balls into Haaland, who now has a fucking decade contract, and he's on the money of his life. And they need this. They also need this win as much as you do because they're also fighting to stay in the Champions League. They want that Champions League money. They want that Champions League pedigree. And if they're like maybe in the top 8 where Barcelona are, maybe like underneath us, like an Aston Villa, Brest category, you might say that maybe it's a little bit of a less incentive since their last game of the group stage, I think, is at Club Brugge at home, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, so they'd be like, okay, PSG, let's go at least survive, get a draw, then we win that game and finish top 8. So the fact that they also need this win as much as you is,
But this thing, do you think they will try to survive more than to win?
I think they'll try to win. I think they'll go for it because they need to. That's what they should, because they need to win as much as you do. Neymar Jr. here says in the chat, PSG versus Messi is going to be NBA digits. I feel like the fact that people think it's going to be a high scoring game,
Exactly,
it won't
it's
be.
gonna up.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be like a 2-1 PSG, a 2-1 City, however it goes. Maybe 3-2. Usually City PSG games are always high scoring. Even back when Zlatan was playing and De Bruyne just signed from Wolves when you faced him in the semifinals when I think they knocked you out. It was like 2-2 at the Park and then like 2-1 at the Etihad, something like that. Like it was quite tight with a lot of goals. So this game does have a history of that, but I know you're gonna say PSG's gonna win this game, obviously. But be honest with me, what do you think that PSG needs to do to win this game, and how is your confidence level as a fan? I know you're very, very optimistic, but like, keep it 100 with me.
Everything is in Barcola and Dembo's hands. They can either win us the game or lose us the game. But both of them are coming in with the best form they can possibly come in with. Dembele has been scoring in all cylinders, popping them. Barcola with a little bit of a cheeky form. Look confident as well in the Arsenal game. But City could be the toughest because I didn't think Arsenal and Bayern were that good. So I think City will be our toughest opponent. But I look at their weaknesses defensively. Like, it's too much. So I hope Lucha plays some of a counter-attacking against City because that's their biggest weakness. Okay, I would say this. I think City are more exploitable than PSG. Do you agree? Like, they have more weaknesses. For us, it's more about our players just got to perform and not have a bad game. Whilst them, it's just their tactics. They're very open at the back.
I mean, I think both teams are as exploitable and as reliant on their attack as each other. That's why I think De Bruyne starting this game is so pivotal because I think he makes that difference for Man City. Where you could say maybe for you it would be Kvara if he could play this game. But I see this game as, like I mentioned, like bang on even. Both teams' defenses are shaky at some points or another. Both their attacks are inconsistent. It's just gonna be about, I wouldn't even say who wants it more, but who's gonna be more clinical at the end of the day, because those chances will come for sure for both sides, but it's about really who takes them. Do you think that the Park will have somewhat of an impact, even though it hasn't really done so?
Yeah.
In the Champions League?
Everyone knows this is like a Champions League final for us. Like, this game is so huge for the rest of the season because we finally built up great momentum in the league and the domestic cups. If we win this, that means all of that was legit. If you don't win this game, that means that was all fugazi, Farmers League.
If you lose though, you can still qualify for the next round, right?
Yeah, but it would just be so tough. And then the round of 32 games are like barely one in a week, 2 weeks.
That's the thing about this game as well that we should talk about. That if either PSG or Messi lose this game, they can still qualify for the round of 32. This just give them that guarantee that you're in.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you need only 3 points, I'm sure they only need 3 more points as well to stay up. So they may be looking at that Club Brugge game. Maybe they're thinking, you know what, we have a point more than PSG. Let's just go there, survive. We'll take a draw if it comes to it. Go back home at the Etihad and cook. The only reason why you need to go in more is that you're playing Stuttgart away, where Stuttgart aren't the best team. But again, away from home, you never know. I know PSG have been better away from home in the Champions League this year than they have been at home, so that's going to have a factor. But you're not going to be down and out if you lose this game. That's going to be, I think, the silver lining that will get you through it, PSG fans or Man City fans respectively as well. You'll be, of course, disappointed that like you could have just won this game and don't have to worry about it anymore. But then at the end of the week, where your Champions League fate will be decided. So does that cushion maybe give you a little bit of extra like calmness, or are you thinking, you know what, I don't care, even losing this game is going to be bad, and you don't want to leave it all on the last game?
I mean, it gives us that calmness, especially if like the game ends in a draw. That would be obviously the best scenario for both clubs, because I mean they're still both predicted to win the last game. The thing is, as I've said, the City game means more than just staying in the UCL. It's Like that's why I care about the performance and I want us to be dominant because this is the most important part of the season. If we get a great win versus City, we go with zero pressure to the Stuttgart game, potentially stat pad because Stuttgart play very open football with very high press, and then we're going very confident into the round of 32 and then round 16 quarters, semi-final, treble. So no. I think it's like a wave we have, a momentum that cannot be disrupted now. No, I don't want that.
I think the only concern you would have is Stuttgart play Slavia Prague away, and they are on the
Yeah.
same points as you. So if they win their game and you don't, whether you get a draw or loss, they'll be thinking, okay, 1 point against PSG at home and we qualify, where you'll need a win at that point.
Exactly.
So that could also have a little bit of an effect too. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's a game, like I mentioned, that we are all looking forward to for a few months now. I think it will be very, very tight, but I also feel like there will be a winner for sure. And, but again, I still think if you lose this game, you won't, bust your balls, so to speak. Of course, you'll be disappointed. You won't. I don't think you'll be raging like you were in the Arsenal game. You'd be more like,
No. I mean,
in the
City's
Atletico
a
Madrid
top
game.
side. Yeah, it's much less disgusting losing to City than Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal. That's the most embarrassing defeat apart from like Newcastle and United. All these garbage Prem teams, man, is the worst. I hate it.
I see, I hear you. But at least, I mean, like, when you lost to Atletico, you were a bit more professional. You were like, you know what, they fugazi it at the end. Of course, I think that's when you said Lucho out, but you were more upset with not being able to finish chances. But you also knew that, we're still in the Champions League with this round 3, with this, new
Yep.
Super League table crap. And it's going to be the same case as well in this game, too. So I think the only way you should be worried is if Stuttgart win and then you win, and you lose, badly. That's where I'd be like, yo, we're going into this last game against Stuttgart away. They only need 1 point to, them qualifying for round 32 is a historic achievement for them, So they're gonna be fighting for their lives at that point.
No, we gotta get this done, man. Fuck City, man. City can go through no matter what.
I want to mention I saw your combined 11 for City and PSG,
Yes,
and I think your combined 11s are hilarious. Because some way, somehow, no matter what, you'll have more PSG players.
Like, what would you change? Like, I get it, because I saw in the comment. I got Ederson ahead of Donna. I can do that. I'm not going to defend Donna. Okay, one more.
I mean,
One more.
are you going
Like,
off
Walker?
of? Are you going off? You're going off of form this season and stuff, right? Not.
Your form and like quality. That's why I went with Marquinhos Diaz as the two.
Yeah,
center
I think
backs.
the
They
def-
haven't been best form.
I think there definitely should have been another City midfielder, whether it be Bernardo or Foden, especially with how they've been playing over the past few weeks, getting results. But
If Foden, no, Foden been fucking ass this season, man. Foden
he has been, yeah. But I think Bernardo Silva has definitely been better in the year than Vitinha, just based on consistency. He puts a consistent 7 out of 10, where Vitinha...
Well, Vitinha was better for Portugal in the Euros. Vitinha was...
This is the Euros, man. We're talking about this season. Yours was in the summer.
Yeah, no. Oh, you're talking this season?
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't watched City that much. I just know Bernardo's cooked. Hey, you haven't mentioned your app, by the way. Why you not mention Gundogan?
Oh no, he's cooked, man. I told everyone in the summer, masterclass from Joan Laporta. I was saying to sell him when I was getting cooked. I was saying to sell him.
Oh, you said he was gonna be cooked.
Yeah, no. I didn't know he's gonna be this cooked. But I said in the summer I would sell. I would do what they were gonna do because Gundogan's on €300,000 per week. 1 more year. What's the point? You're bringing Danny Olmo, who's better than him in his position, where he's gonna play. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. And I got cooked. Oh, Gundo was our player of the season last season. He only came 1 year under Flick. He's German. He'll do better. And I said you have to look more at longevity than what's not in the moment. Yeah, too emotional. Shout out Gundo. He had 1 good year. He was our player of the season, no doubt. Best player over the course of the season. Not even a debate whatsoever. But yeah, for the course of the year. Remember, Kunde had that 3-month spell from middle of November when he came back from that injury until end of January where he was just crap. Woeful.
Yeah, that's when the Super Copa was played, right?
Exactly. That's the thing with Kunde. He's very much, I guess, a moment's player. But this season he's been pretty good. He has, of course, the most minutes in the team, as he tends to have. He's my favorite player, man. I think Koundé represents everything to be a Barcelona player. Celebration's a bit ass though. Keeps flexing his muscles. I'm like, I've been waiting for this goddamn Cobra celebration since he joined, and he's not whipped it out whatsoever. But yeah, it'll be an interesting game. I wouldn't even think it would be hate watching. I'll just be watching the game.
What, City now you're like Barca brothers?
No. I have one team, man. I think honestly this hate watching stuff. Not hate watch. I think people having multiple teams they support is very, very cringy. Yeah, I like, oh, my first team is Barcelona, my second team is Man United. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh no, the worst one is my Premier League team.
Yeah, my Premier League team. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? People are like, oh, you can have two wives. I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna like one more over the other. You're not gonna like them both evenly.
Yeah.
You pick
one.
one.
If they face each other.
Yeah.
Oh no, I picked this one.
You pick one team, you ride or die, then you enjoy. You can have agendas against other teams. Like I have a massive Arsenal agenda. You can maybe like other teams. Oh, I like City under Pep. I liked Southampton when they were back in the Premier League in their prime in like 2015. But all this stuff about, oh, my Italian team, my Premier League team. I have this one friend. He has like 9 teams, man. He has a team. He has a local team, Italian team, Spanish team, Premier League team. Like, oh my god. He's there like to say like Forza Milan and like Ale Paris and then like go on you Gooners. Like I was just like, bruh. I think it's disgusting. But let's talk about the transfer market. Of course, both teams have been active. You more than we were. We've been active in terms of rumors. You've been active in terms of actual movement. Of course, you've signed Kvara Kvaratskhelia, who was linked with Barcelona a lot last season, but for 120 million. So that's why we didn't go for him. But you got him on the cut deal for 70. Can you tell me firstly, of course, how you are about the signing, how excited about it, but can you also tell us the story about why he left Napoli mid-season while they were in a title race? You know the story behind what changed for him, the opportunity, didn't go get along with Conte. You have any of those kind of information?
So no, I think Kvara is a sensational signing. We lacked a lot of creativity on the left side. Even though Barcolo's been good this season, I think he has like 11 goals in the league. He's been very good goal scoring. But the issue was the creativity. Like all of our most key passes are Hakimi, Kangili, and Dembele, all that right-hand side. So we needed something on the left, and I think that's what Kvara can do. And he can build up a really great relationship with Nuno Mendes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just the Kvara signing, like just imagine you're the PSG squad. You've had some of a tough season, under performed as well. You get a big signing like Kvara, the motivation, the confidence that comes from that signing. So I think it's top signing. Definitely the best January transfer in PSG history.
You're scary, man. I thought you were about to say it all the time.
No.
Not yet.
It could potentially be the best January chance. Because I can't think. I know Van Dijk is a top one. Van Dijk was a...
Aubameyang to Barcelona?
Yeah, cheeky.
He lives in that Champions League, man. We'll talk. Until then, it's going to be the same old story.
No, 100%. But I mean, Kvara took Georgia to their first ever competition.
Got them out of the group as well.
Their first Serie A got them out of the group. So
you know why he left Napoli? Was there beef?
Yes, what happened to Napoli? He was clear in the summer. He wanted to leave, and PSG was his destination. Like his agent came out. He said, "My son wants to leave." His dad came out. Napoli didn't let him go, even though he agreed terms with us. So then January came. I don't know if we called him or he called us, but we checked with each other. We still want him. Kvara still wanted to leave. And then he just went to Napoli and said, no, I don't. Because they've been trying to extend him ever since the summer. He's like, no, I want to leave. And Conte got really mad. It was like, we've been trying with this player, but...
Yeah, I saw those quotes,
even though it's for a loss. Like, they're going to buy Garnacho now for like 57 million.
I'm just wondering why the price dropped from 120 to 70. That's like, what, 50 million cheaper in the space of 6 months? Why was it that significant of a drop? That's what my wondering is. Because I think for 70 million, it's good a price for Kvara. I wouldn't say it's on the cheap. I wouldn't say it's too expensive. I think it's pretty much what he's valued at. And if he had that kind of availability in the summer, I think Barcelona would have been, not would have signed him, but I think they would have been more keen than they were.
Yeah.
But just that price drop is crazy for me.
I think it has a lot to do with someone I constantly critique, which is Luis Campos. He did amazing negotiation because when we came back in January, we didn't come back similarly in the summer where we were desperate for Kvara. We said we can wait until the summer. Like we're not that desperate. We can wait. We've already went half of the season without Kvara. We can wait. So it's really you who want to sell him. And Kvara only wanted PSG. His Napoli wanted to do like a prize thingy where clubs compete and take the price
Bidding
up.
war.
Here's you like, this is only what you're gonna get. And Napoli, they were like, yeah. We even got it in installments. The 70M is, I think, in 3 installments.
Yeah, all transfer fees are installments apart from release clauses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No club. That's why all the clubs go through banks to pay their installments. The only way that's why release clauses are always so difficult to do. You gotta pay it in full. That's why Bartomeu took out a loan to pay 120 million release clause for Griezmann. Fucking idiot. Are PSG gonna do anything else? I know that Kolo Muani's got to Juventus, even though that deal hasn't gone through yet, but it's gonna go through. Is Skriniar gonna leave? Any other signings? I know that Nuno Mendes now done a U-turn. He's staying now, which is lucky on you. I was waiting for you to turn on him. I was waiting for the Nuno Mendes is a rap video.
I mean, it's still not 100%, but yeah.
Well, United are going now for the Arsene Lons left back now, so.
Who's go? Oh, United.
Yeah, they're gonna go for what's his name, Dogu, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going for him now. So that's kind of like the Nuno Mendes route back to Ruben Amorim.
So we want to get rid of Skriniar and Asensio. Only issue, it's very difficult to get rid of them. But we talked about this before we started the stream. The guy that we're after, it's John Duran.
Yeah, so before the stream, West Ham had a bid of 65 million euros rejected by Aston Villa for Duran, which I think. Here's the thing with me, right? I think I've mentioned this quite a few times on multiple videos. I think signing a striker after a small little spell is probably the most riskiest move in football. I've seen so many strikers over the past few years flop. Xerxes now at United. Solanke isn't doing too well at Spurs. Who else moved for like big money in the summer? And they're going for like, how does Solanke went for 70 million after one okay season with Bournemouth? English tax, sure. Xerxes had a release clause, so United got lucky there. But all these, even Gyökeres, people talk about Gyökeres
now.
Who?
80. Marmoush, 80 million.
Yeah. Kolo Muani for 90. Like again, there's always a little bit of extra tax in there. Like Kolo Muani was French.
Gonzalo as well.
Yeah.
Magic in the World Cup.
I think it's the most fugazi movements ever, and I hate it. And thank God Barcelona don't do it. Do you honestly believe for 70 million, because Duran off the bench scored a couple of golazos and he's doing okay off the bench, is worth 70 million? And what's the updates around PSG signing him as well?
Yeah, so quickly, we've been after him this entire January, but a bit similar to Kvara, we're okay waiting until the summer to get him, but we would really want to get him now, especially because we cut down the Kvara price, so we have money left. When it comes to Duran, 70 million, no, he's not worth that. And as we just mentioned with Kolo and Gonzalo, it feels like we're doing a bit of the same mistake. The thing is, though, Gonzalo was signed by by Nasser. Gonzalo was signed by Campos, and Kolo was signed by Nasser. Whilst the person that's pushing for John Duran, it's Luis Enrique. He thinks Duran will help us a lot. I would much rather have Duran than not having Duran. So I'm not we have money, fucking man. We got money, man.
I mean, that's not a question, of course, but spending that kind of money.
It's not worth. No, it's not.
You're not gonna learn anything from Kolo Muani?
Apparently not.
We're getting questions in the chat again about signing Kavicia when you still have Barcola. You wanna explain that, because I feel like it's not my place, even though I already know the answer.
I mean, I'm trying to think of Barca's. So when you had MSN, was
we had
Pedro and Alcácer, were they your best sub attackers?
No,
Pedro only the first season.
Yeah, Pedro dipped after the first season. We had Munir and Sandro Ramirez as our backups, and they left. Then we signed Paco Alcácer. We had Denis Suarez, who of course is a midfielder playing on the wing, Arda Turan, midfielder playing on the wing. So the substitutes for MSN were very much non-existent. We've had some good winger depth over the past. Look at the season under Xavi, we won the double. We had Varane, Dembele, Rafinha, Ansu Fati, all four of those wingers as options for us. for
Yeah.
an
So,
example.
and then when we had Eminem, we had like Ekitike and Soler as the subs. So already when you're looking at top players like Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Suarez, you're not thinking of having a good substitute. But when you see the substitutes we had, it wasn't good enough. Now it's Kvara. Like he's not Neymar or Messi level. So obviously you need good rotation. Then obviously comes in the versatility. Dembele can play across the attack, which has tried him many times false nine. Reports came out that Kvara's going to be tried out as a false nine by Luis Enrique, and Barcola is very versatile as well. So it's like when Madrid had, I don't know, like BBC, then they had Isco, they had James Rodriguez, they had this guy, they had this guy, or City, they had Mahrez and Bernardo Silva on the same wing. I didn't hear anyone, yo, what's gonna happen to Bernardo? Let's make a bid for Bernardo. So I think most of those people is they just hate PSG got Kvara and they're like, yeah, let's come up with something that doesn't make any sense.
Of course, for now they can play together in a front three, but once the striker comes in, they of course will be the ones battling for competitions. Again, there's so many games, they can't all play every single game, and one will dip out of form. Other than Billy's form is always like this in the season. We've seen Barcola coming off from a down. What am I wrong?
Exactly.
Am I wrong about Dembus?
No, like Dumbus this season, it's been like, but and then he went down that like a 2-month period.
There you go.
This is like
That's my bump,
he's
bump,
aiming
bump.
for
That's what I mean. 2 months is a big bump, you know.
That is true. That's true.
So every team needs depth, and I think locking down Dembele, Barcola, and Kimmich as your wingers. Of course, Dembele might pull up Barcelona and PSG and then just dip out of nowhere. You never know. Players' futures, what their minds are. But for now, they will survive. It'll all be peaceful harmony. But once the striker comes in, I think that's what we'll see. Who cries a lot in the media?
You sent me a video. Which one was it you sent me? It was like a Kvara TikTok or something. What was it?
Let me see here. I sent you one about the Kolobowani deal.
Was that the most recent one?
There's one about Kvara from that
yeah,
Serie A fan that was just just bashing Kvara for going, which I thought was hilarious.
Okay, yeah. So that's the other thing. Okay, yeah. No, so the recent one we looked at, Kolo one. I mean, I actually agreed with him. Like it was extremely stupid what we did.
So you're gonna cancel one of your loans and then sell that player to that club now? So I think what I saw Fabrizio say.
Yeah, boy, it's looking like it's Cherendor. He's on loan at Besiktas. We bring him back and we send him to an Italian club. We're also trying to talk to West Ham, who are loaning Carlos Soler with a loan with an option to buy. We're trying to get them to buy him now. But we're a bit stuck, but there's still plenty of time. Colo still wants to go to Juve.
He's
Juve
training.
are very mad, but they still want him. He's training with him.
He's training with them. Yeah, he's seen. I think Fabrizio tweeted some pictures of him in training. So he's active there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess that deal will come off. Do you think he'll sign another player before the window ends?
Maybe Duran. That's it. I think we were looking at a centre back, but I think we'll leave that for the summer.
I could definitely see Skinny or Asensio like leaving on deadline day. That's such like deadline day vibes. So I can see that happening. I don't know if you'll sign someone else or not. Especially with this Duran bid already getting rejected, you'll have to think probably fork up like 80 million to tempt Villa.
No, because so all the reports that have been mentioned saying that Villa at least wants 70. West Ham made 65. I think they're trying to juice it up to get that 70. I don't think they're aiming for that 90 million. There some reports mentioned. Plus, they want Asensio. Unai Emery is a fan of him. Very weird, but
If you 65 plus Asensio, 2 birds, 1 stone.
50. PSG value Asensio 20 to 25 million.
That's crazy. I don't know what the fuck they're getting that from. I think
if we get Duran Kvara, I know
that's
Duran
like half your
name,
summer
but...
like job done at that point.
Yeah. So and in summer we're going big. Salah. I don't know how I feel about.
Whoa! Having Salah, Dembele, Barcola, and Kimmich as your winger, that's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think Lucha would see Salah as a false nine, or play Dembuz as false, or Kvara false nine. So it's basically like Lucha's playing an attack with no striker, just wingers. He's trying to revolutionize football, like Golden State with the 3-point, or Conte with the 3 at the back, or Pep with the inverted fullbacks. Like Lucha's trying to do something. If he succeeds, he's a genius. One of the greatest managers of all time. Like if he wins he's won a treble at Barca. If he can win PSG's first UCL and a treble, he's already at at least the top 10 of all time. So
Yeah.
it's a huge risk, but I don't know. I have to have. I'm forced to have faith in him.
I guess for Barcelona, it's a bit different. Where if we're gonna sign someone, it has to come from a sale, and right now we're looking at Rashford being the only signing coming in because our attack is a bit light. Flick fails to trust either Varane or Alonso to come in to replace the front three of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, or Rafinha. So if we do bring someone in, it'll be Rashford. If we do sell someone, it'll be either Eric Garcia or Ansu Fati. Those are kind of the squad players that have values, that have interests. If you could tell the club to do one thing, they would push Ansu Fati out and bring in Rashford. But the issue is that Ansu Fati does not want to leave. He has massive ambitions to succeed at Barcelona, which I love the kid for. But he's just not available. Remember we talked about Dembele, his form up like this, up and down, up and down. That's kind of the same with Ansu Fati. It was about his chances in the team. Huge chance in the team. Injured for 2 months. Another big chance. Injured for a month, and he gets these injuries from training as well. Not even playing. So I think the club have kind of had enough with him. He's on a lot of money as well. He earns around 170,000 euros per week, 180,000 euros per week, which is pretty much what he's going to give to Rashford because he earns 300 at United. Give him that, and at least he can provide something else. But like I said at the beginning of the window, and I'll say it again, I think there's a very good chance we do absolutely nothing. If we do absolutely nothing, I won't be upset, and I won't be surprised either. I think the Araujo rumors really kind of spurred things up. Oh, if Araujo leaves, we'll sign 2 players, blah, blah, blah. But he's now ended up staying. I think the club are going to be using the money to renew players. Araujo, Frankie, Pedri, and then maybe Frankie. Yamal as well. The Yamal contract is already unlocked. The Yamal's already locked.
No, but I saw you. They're trying to renegotiate it.
Yeah. So last season, we renewed Lamine Yamal for 2 more years, plus a 4-year option because he can only sign a 2-year contract until he turns 18. When you turn 18, you can't sign a long-term deal. Same thing for Kubarsi. So he's already unlocked for 2030, but they want to improve the terms because, of course, last season he was a youngster getting into the team, and now he's a superstar and probably top 3 best players in the world right now, based on his form. Why are you laughing? What's so funny?
I mean, there's probably 3 better Barca players.
I completely disagree.
Pedri, Rafinha, and probably Kunde. Kunde's been better than Yamal this season.
Rafinha, no. By the way, I'll tell you this: if Barcelona, do big things this season, win a treble and all this, I think Lamine Yamal is going to get the big push for the Ballon d'Or, not Rafinha.
Oh, 100%.
I think they may get. I think Rafinha only will have sympathy because Lamine Yamal has still another 15 years at the top level, where Rafinha has maybe 1 or 2 years. Lamine Yamal is. So I am a bit biased right now because he put in the best performance of the season against Betis a few days ago, but he is just so important for this team. I think I've said this a lot. I'll say it to you right here. He's the most important player in this team because there's no other player in the team like him. When Lamine Yamal's on this team, we look like absolute ass, and to say that we are Lamine Yamal Dependencia is very, very annoying to say that right now. But I have to concede that fact. His movement, his runs, his intelligence, his dribbling. The only thing that we talked about when we talked about the Getafe game that he needs to work on is his finishing and maybe a little bit of his decision making. Once that is fine-tuned, he will be unstoppable. He's without a doubt the best right winger in the world right now. Nobody comes close. Maybe you could say Mo, but the Christmas Mo is coming in now a little bit. Yo, shut up with Dembouz, man. Honest to God, Dembouz not even close to what I mean.
Dembouz, like, what is this? What am I hearing, Yamal? I remember the stats. Barca have only won 1 game without Yamal. The last 5 games in the league Yamal has played, Barca have only won 1. Like, I don't really see this Yamal.
But you told me that Lamine Yamal can't score goals, and now he has 4 goals in 2025. What's up with that?
No, wait, let's see. So, who did you face in the Bilbao?
That
was like
that was his first game in a month. He's coming off the back of an injury.
True.
No goal there.
His El Clasico goal.
Cooked.
Respect.
The Betis goal.
Betis goal.
He scored in that game.
5-1.
No, but he scored twice in that game when it was ruled off for offside.
Okay.
So he was still cooking, but.
He has.
And look at the leagues as well, by the way. That has to be a factor. And look at how.
Dembouz's been cooking versus Monaco.
Yeah, that's Monaco though. The Lamine Yamal scored against Monaco in their stadium too.
Okay, one versus two.
Well, you played them twice. We only played them once. But
No. I'm talking one game. He scored a brace.
here's
No, what I want. If you even want to say Yamal is the best, just don't say like clear, because their boys has been good this season.
he has been, yes. But I think right now,
He's been
Lamine
better than
Yamal.
Salah.
I think right now on form, we can say Lamine Yamal is the best right wing in the world. I think he's definitely top 3 best players in the world as well this season. If you want to put Mo Salah in there, to be fair, Kylian is coming up, which is a bit annoying. He's doing a little bit better now than he was back when he missed that Liverpool penalty when we were vibing. But
So you think Yamal's been better than Pedri?
for the course of
Pedri
this,
has been yours
Fuck,
best
man, I don't know.
player this season.
I think Pedri's been the most consistent player this season for Barcelona. I think Yamal is the most important player for Barcelona. And the way I will argue that is we have okay options to replace Pedri. Of course, not the level of Pedri. I think Pedri's without doubt the best midfielder in the world. I will not hear anything about that. You could not name me a better midfielder than Pedri in the world.
No, Pedri, I can always respect that.
But there's options there. With Yamal, there's nothing. If the Yamal gets a season, if you told me right now season-ending injury for Pedri or Yamal, I would choose Pedri. Do you see his assist, by the way, for Koundé's goal? Yeah, man. He finally when he hits,
Pedri, yeah.
yeah, finally when
No,
he
that
hits some
was-
sort of consistency, it's just. It's mesmerizing to watch, honestly, a player like him. And I don't want to compare him to anyone else, but I used to see it back in the day, and now seeing it back again, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. But Koundé is very consistent. He's a consistent 7 out of 10. He's not really super influential to the team. He kind of just does his thing. Over the past, like I told you, over the past month, he started to, get forward. Denny Alves run. He's dribbling, link up play, scoring goals. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what Flick did or some black foo magic or whatever. But he started, bomb up and down that right hand side. So he's coming into it, but I think there's nobody touches Lamine Yamal. And I don't know if it's sad or if it's good that Barcelona rely on a 17-year-old. But if he cooks, we cook. If he doesn't cook, we barely cook. Same thing with Lewandowski as well. I mentioned this on the last show on your channel. When Lewandowski performs in the striker position, we ball. He was a bit nullified against Getafe because again they had 2 defenders and 2 midfielders all on him. He had some. I think people said that Lewandowski had a stinker in the Getafe game. I thought he played so well. He put 3 chances on a plate for his teammates, and they crumbled. In a game where you're getting suffocated in the middle of the park, there's absolutely no space to work with. He didn't have one chance in this game. There's no chance that he put wide or hit the post or he messed up. He was just setting up everyone in that game, and I think it's embarrassing for Rafinha to miss those big chances and not give Lewandowski an assist that he deserved. But definitely right now, in 2025, the Yamal's been the best player in the world. Pedri's been the best 8. There's nothing really else to add to that. I think I know you got a little bit of I wouldn't say agenda, but you like to joke around.
No, Yamal, I have an agenda. No.
All right, same with Kubarsi as well, where Kubarsi is just absolutely cooking as well.
Kubarsi, I'm calm. Kubarsi, I don't know. That's just funny.
Bro,
But Yamal, no. That's from the bottom of my heart, man. I can't take it. I can't take it.
so what does Yamal have to do to get your respect? Like drop 20 goals, 20 assists a season? Like, what do you need from him?
Okay, Yamal, it's 2 stuff. The first thing isn't really his fault. It's Barca fans. Like, every single time Barca has a good game, I open Twitter, biggest upgrade of all time. Every single time.
Oh, dude, the boost? Ah, there it is. There's the little agitation.
That is Yamal's fault. The other thing is Yamal's arrogance. I noticed a bit the same with Mbappe after he won the World Cup. I saw a quote come up again when you were up in the league. And they asked him, like, oh, what do you think about the people in Madrid? Now they're your top. And he said something, yeah, they're probably mad over there or something. He talks too much.
To be fair, I think all Barca players, when they speak, are very humble. It's when they leave Barcelona when they see their true colors. Look at Messi now. Messi's, taunting fans in the MLS. Like, it's crazy. He's on demon time, which is, I've never seen Messi like that. Since the World Cup where he was going like this to Van Gaal and doing the ear thing.
Yeah.
He's lost it. He's lost his head. Lamine, apart from dancing and doing maybe shush celebrations and calm celebrations, I think
He's moving like a Vinny.
Well, what do you want him to do, man? We get dance stuff, so he's dancing back, man. I love it. I'm getting on dance. I'm getting Bali Vinny and like my whole entire timeline for the past year now.
I know.
I think him getting the comma at the Bernabeu was cold. Him doing it in Saudi was a bit like, I think I said to myself, oh, you're pushing it a little bit. Like him doing Neymar celebrations like this and whatever, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cringe.
I mean, it's cool for a Barca fan, maybe for cringe for an outsider. The comma, I think, is a little bit, over the top, but I think I don't think there's any Barcelona who's arrogant what they say. I know which quote you're talking about. I don't think he said that, oh, they're going to be upset. I think he said that, yeah, we're top, but, there's still a long season to go. We're looking ahead. He's not more so boosting Barcelona up, but just keeping it content. And that's what all the Barca players do. We never talk trash unless trash is being talked to us.
No. I remember before we were going to face. I read through, like, your player stuff. Like, Lewandowski said some stuff. Humble. Gundogan as well. Still confident, obviously, that your guys are going to win. And then comes Yamal. I think if we're going to win 1-0, I'm going to score the winner. And then at the Jokic, he said, I think we're going to win 2-1. I may score both and advance. Even another Messi didn't say this, man.
Ronaldo did say that. And that's just banter. He says it, and when he says it as well, he laughs. He's just saying it as a joke. I think the score prediction is genuine. I think him saying, oh, I'm going to score something like that it's just banter. Even when he said he did an interview before he came back in 2025 saying that, oh, I need to score more goals because I'm getting laughed at for not scoring too many goals, and now he scores and now he's doing all these celebrations. It's all about I think being content. I did even a stat comparison for a video of Lamine Yamal's season comparing to Neymar's treble season at Barcelona, and his numbers are on par with him in La Liga numbers. So that's where you can see, of course, like the most consistent. His numbers are on par. I think Neymar that whole season had 8 assists. Right now, Lamine Yamal has 9 with the whole other half of the season left. Neymar, I think, had what was it? I think 14 goals in the league in La Liga, and now Lamine Yamal is on 9 with still another half left of the season. His numbers are the only thing that Neymar cooks him in is dribble completion, which I think is pretty obvious. But Lamine Yamal is putting up scary numbers, man, for a 17-year-old. Which I said last season, my expectation, for example, for Joao Felix, who came in on loan, was to get 10 goals and assists for a whole season. To keep him. Lamine Yamal is like, he did that already back in November. Same thing with Rafinha as well. But I think he, of course, has the potential. If he can make you cry along the way, that's even better. You know what I mean?
No, but you understand do you at least understand where I'm coming from?
The stuff against PSG, sure. I think the one of the Madrid and the table, I don't think he said that, but the PSG one where he said, yeah, he'll score it, and you end up knocking us out, I'll give you that one. But
I think you also talked before the El Clasico you lost last season, after our game. He said I would score, and then
I don't remember that one. I remember the PSG and the other interview, the interview that he did after we won 4-0 recently.
But the difference between like a Yamal and a Bellingham is. Yamal has extreme ability. That's the main difference. Bellingham, like, he's shit, and then he has a shit personality as well. Fuck. Yo, you can't. I think, man, Madrid can't win the league. You have to stop them, man.
I think if you told Barcelona win the Copa del Rey Champions League and give away the league, they might take it at this point. But again, the season is long. We drop 7 points. They can drop 7 points.
Yes.
But
yes.
I don't know, man. I think we're just way too inconsistent in the league, and probably way too inconsistent. Period. Might have to rely on Atletico Madrid to win the league. I don't know, because even if we win all of our games now to the end of the season, we still don't win the league. We're still relying on both teams to drop points, so it'll be an interesting affair.
When do you play El Clasico? Is it like towards the end?
Yeah, it's in May 11th. We should be back at the Camp Nou. So
what's happened for the UCL, by the way?
I have no idea. The club announced that they extended our contract with the Montjuic for another month, so until the beginning of May. But I don't know if we're gonna be playing that in the Champions League or not. We may have a Champions League stadium. That's still a bit unclear. What's 100% certain now is that we will not play the Champions League in the Camp Nou. I think by that point the semifinals will be taking place, so we'll be at the Montjuic then, if we make it. Because we will not be back at the Camp Nou for February. And once you play that first game in the Champions League knockout round in the stadium, you can't change it. So,
yeah,
Camp Nou just for probably the Clasico. That'll be like the big moment for it. And then maybe Messi coming back next season. You know, Messi's putting a clause in his contract with Miami to go on loan to a European club end of 2025 into beginning of 2026. So if he's coming back to Europe, he's coming to Barcelona. I don't think he's going back to PSG. So
I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'd welcome him. We'd welcome him. There's a better team for him to play around with.
After all the shit that he went through, he's gonna come back to PSG. If he does, I'll Instagram him. I'll Instagram DM him the video view of saying why Messi's a rat, and then that'll throw him off.
I hope he benches Yamal. That would be nice.
I think he'll only just come just to train and just survive, play a couple of games in front of the fans. I don't even think he'll. It's just to stay fit for the World Cup, right? Because the MLS the season ends.
Oh.
So the MLS ends November, and then they come back in February. So there's gonna be that 3-4 month spell where there's no football. So Messi's gonna want to stay fit for the World Cup. So that's why they're gonna put that little clause in his deal if they find a European club. Maybe it won't even be Barcelona. Maybe it'll be a City or somewhere where he'll actually play week in, week out. Because I don't even think. I mean, Barcelona will obviously take him back, but will he be a starter straight away? Are we just gonna bench Rafinha? I don't know. Dude, this is earning a lot of money, man. I don't want him earning that money and sitting on the bench.
How short is it Liver will be there next season?
What do you mean?
You're gonna keep him.
Yeah, for sure. Man, he's okay, but off the field he does so much revenue, sponsorship, advertisement. You know, Lewandowski number 9, like that does too much for the club to give him away. And the club is, like I mentioned, they're always so bouncy. You know, that he played a great game in the Clasico, had a crap game against Getafe, and everyone wants to sell him. It's all just up and down. They're gonna keep him though. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll end it here since the Barcelona press conference for the Benfica games that start soon, and I know you have to leave. But if you want to add anything else before we go about Champions League games or transfers or anything like that,
see you in the final. See you in the final.
Yo, a PSG Barca final. I would love that. I think the only final I would not be able to handle is the Clasico final. Champions League Clasico final, I think will be the death of me, especially if we lose. If we lose the Champions League, I might put a gun to my mouth. But PSG and Barca one, like I told you, man, Barcelona doesn't lose finals, especially in the Champions League.
But
5 for 5.
But if you give us our first UCL, you give us that virginity. You let us.
That would just be annoying. That would be. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Of course, if you clap us, of course I'll be that would live right free in my head like you win like 4-0 or something. But if it's like a 2-1 close game, it'd be annoying. But remontada will still live on, you know.
No, because look, when we win UCL, I need it to be like you or City. Because if we beat like Inter, nobody cares. They would just say Fugazi, nobody cares.
Like in the final specifically.
One of you. Yeah.
What about Madrid?
Beat the top team. Yeah, no, you are Madrid. That's why I also went to Madrid last season. I need one of you because you are teams that people casuals rate. So they'll be like, nah, they beat Barca. Nah.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I could pick one final to have, it would be Barca PSG. So we'll see if it happens or not.
Let's go.
Who's knocking out Liverpool? Hopefully you get Liverpool and you knock them out. I ain't trying to deal with that.
Let's go Inter. Inzaghi,
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. Subscribe as well. Check out PSG, and his links are always in the description, of course. And we'll catch you guys, of course, next week on the stream.